Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I've got a small squad build with some acid rain figures I wanted to share with you.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Alright guys, so like I mentioned in the intro, this is a small Toys Alliance Acid Rain World squad build. And I recently completed it. If you saw my last haul video, you'll know that I picked up these Maelstrom Troopers here from Big Bad Toy Store. They had been in my pile of loot for many months. Finally got them and it kind of completed this squad here. That's what I'm calling it. It's in my world, this is like a recon squad with Eradicate as the leader, the troop leader, and Maelstrom as second in command, Maelstrom Explorer, I should say. And these are sort of the grunt, the sort of troopers. I've had these two for quite some time. They were, I think, convention exclusives that then went to Pia Club. Since I've had them, and it's been several months, Eradicate here has sold out, but I believe the Explorer is still available on Pia's website. Might want to look into that if you like this figure. Um, but they're the two leaders. These are the foot soldiers. These guys were from Big Bad. These guys were from Pia Club. So let's start with the Explorer real quick because he is the one that's still available. Very good figure. Very cool. He uses a lot of the same parts as the Trooper here. When we get to the Trooper, I'll kind of talk about that. But very good paint sculpt. This guy came with a lot of accessories. This collar does come off. This pouch does as well. Came with a working holster and pistol, suppressor that fits on the rifle, and also fits nicely on the belt, as well as these two, I'm going to call them grenades, two different shapes, two different sizes. I believe actually that is the suppressor for the pistol. That's the grenade right there. And everything fits really nicely on the belt. He also has this little data pad that we've seen before. It's very cool, very well painted. Very nice little piece, but it fits nicely into this pouch here. So let's turn it this way. Oops, it is very small. It fits in there nice and snug though, so you don't have to worry about it, coming out. And I do really like this rifle. It's very cool. Very cool rifle. Very cool figure though. I really do like this guy. I love the paint, the green. It's a darker than olive. It's like a very foresty green with the brown highlights. Very cool woodland type uh, camouflage or color palette. Now let's jump over to here. Speaking of woodland, it's cool as this guy has a soft goods underneath the vest here. Sometimes this pops off, um, but he is held together pretty tight. But he's got this soft goods. It's almost like the old school U.S. Army camouflage from like the 80s, the woodland camo, which I don't think they use anymore. It's gone to like a digital pattern. But he does have a soft goods overlay underneath this web gear, which is very, very cool. Um, so they use mostly the same buck here. And one of the things that I've kind of heard from people that have been collecting acid rain for a long time, and I have not been, I'm about 2 or 3 years in. This figure here is about 6 years old and this is a re-release or a rerun of an older figure. This is a fairly recent figure. This is a few months old, and they mostly use exactly the same buck in parts and body. Now, I know they're in the same army, so it makes sense that they'd have a lot of the same uniform. But one of the things I've heard is there just hasn't been a lot of innovation from Toys Alliance and the Acid Rain line. They were leaps and bounds ahead of the competition, 5 or 6 years ago with their articulation, their paint, their sculpt. But in recent years, Planet Green Valley, Joy Toy, they've really caught up when it comes to articulation and accessories and paint and sculpt. I still think that the Toys Alliance, this stuff, this Acid Rain stuff, is the best there is at 118. But the competition's catching up, and there just hasn't been a lot of new innovation. It seems like they're still, like every line, recycling a lot of the older bucks over and over again and just kit bashing their own stuff, which we'll talk about with Eradicate there. Still, they're really good figures and they're better than 99% of what is out there. This figure came with two different helmets, so I have them fitted out two different ways here. This helmet just pops off. This one just pops off. You can see they're the same underneath, but they have different helmet. I like them both. That's why I kind of made this guy sort of the captain of these two. They also came with a second pistol. This pistol here, and this is the rifle that they came with. I fitted him out with this sort of laser shotgun that Eradicate came with, to give him a sort of their breacher or their, they always have a guy with a shotgun in the platoon. You know what I mean? So that's what that is. But overall, these are really good figures, but they are on the older end. And it seems like the Toys Alliance, to go back to the point I was trying to make, um, most of the innovation seems to be on the Annex 2179 stuff with the butterfly joints, Anubis and Rakashi and the E11. The Rakasha had the four different arms and four different ball joints that were butterflied. And, just it seems like most of the innovation is on that side of the Toys Alliance line rather than in the Acid Rain part. But I still love these figures, still one of my favorite lines to collect. Here is the Eradicate. I do recognize a lot of parts on him from the Ratco, like that shotgun, that laser shotgun there. But he obviously has some different soft goods. He's got a very cool backpack. This guy came with a lot of accessories. He has a pistol here, two in the backpack. Backpack is removable. I mentioned the soft goods. He also comes with a very cool knife, fits on the belt, and this very cool rifle, a very small bayonet there in the front. This guy is very cool. Really like the colors on him. He's almost got like this patina sort of on his leg here, and it is followed up on the chest. Little highlights of pink. Just a really good figure. Definitely the leader of this squad and a fun figure. He's got this whole side here is sort of cyborg. Now I have had a little bit of trouble um, at this bicep swivel of this leg popping off. I rarely, if ever, have QC issues with Acid Rain, Toys Alliance stuff. So I was a little surprised that this leg popped off a few times, but I just kind of jammed it back in there and it seems to be on there just fine now. But very, very cool figure. One of the best ones in a while on the Acid Rain side. I have to admit, I do prefer the Annex 2179 stuff. It's a little more sci-fi. These guys are kind of futuristic military. There's no reason they couldn't be in your sci-fi world or your real world military. Some advanced troopers. But that is my squad, guys. Like I said, they're the 303. There's not a lot of 303 um, figures. One of the other ones that I have, and I did do a video on, I'll try to leave a link to it here, is I did do one on these EOS destroyers. They are also in the 303, but I'm going to keep them out of this squad. If you watched that video, I really liked one. I really didn't like the other figure. Or they were good, but they weren't great. But I like this squad just how it is. These five guys working out, head of the army, scouting, spotting, reconnaissance of the enemy. They're closer to the enemy's front line than their own, and that's how they like it. Took some photos with these. Hope you like them. But they're a lot of fun, these figures, and this is my newest squad build. That's what I'm going to call it. Not an army build. It's a squad build because I don't think it will get any bigger. Wouldn't mind a few more of these guys, but they've already sold out on Big Bad. Who knows when they'll come back in stock on Pia Club. And these two I think I'm going to keep them as commanders. I could probably grab another Maelstrom Explorer, but I like having just the one. Makes him more of a singular named character, just like the Eradicate here. So that's my squad, guys. Let me know what you think. Do you have any of these figures? You've been collecting Asteroid a long time. You have these guys from 5, 6 years back. Were you able to pick up Eradicate before he sold out? And the Maelstrom Explorer, I have seen some videos of both of these guys on YouTube, but this is my take on it. So that's the video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please remember to like, comment, and if you haven't, please consider subscribing. I would appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye now.